Okay, so my task gets harder, right? We're getting closer and closer to the tea break, and we keep going on. So you must be wondering, what's a design software company doing in this conference? I've been listening to the speakers before me. It's been fascinating conversations. But what I'm going to talk about for the next few minutes, and I'll try to make it as fast as possible, is how the epic challenges that we have in front of us are epic opportunities that can be solved through design. And we all know that by 2050, 9 billion people have to live in the world. Okay? And our vision at Autodesk is to imagine, design, and create a better world so these people can live well and live within the limits of the planet. 2 billion of these people will be living in urban cities. More than 40% of them are going to have a water demand shortfall in the next 35 years. So all of these things that you know very well. We need more than $1 trillion of investments in low carbon technologies. So these are the epic challenges that are in front of us. And we actually believe that these epic challenges are really epic opportunities. Okay. And design is one of the ways by which you can solve it. Studies have shown that 80% of a particular product's environmental impact is done during the design stage of the product, not later. So 80%, up to 80% of the environmental and sustainable impact of a product is determined at the design stage. And so for us, we see this as an epic opportunity for a design-led revolution, and many of you in your organizations, in your agencies, are actually striving to make this world a better and more sustainable place. So design for us, as a definition, is the act of intentionally shaping the world. And so what we are trying to do is we've coined this term called the design-led revolution, which is where we see the world going towards. And the world of design is changing, and in the interest of time, I'm going to talk about how it's done. But this very building that is sitting in, the Marina Bay Sands, everybody was not sitting in the same place, the architects, the engineers, the construction companies. So design is becoming more collaborative, done more faster. It's done anywhere, anytime. So it's very, very different. So what we are looking for at Autodesk and what we work together is trying to make sure that we can actually design things, design products, design and create buildings which are in a zero carbon world that produce the same amount of energy as they consume. It's a very fascinating concept. And so what we do is we're looking for companies to sponsor, to partner with. There are two particular areas that I want to leave with you in front of you as areas that we really work with. One is what we call clean technology startups. If you are a company that's in the industry of clean technology, and if you're a startup company, we provide our software for free to you so you can actually create solutions that can make this planet a more sustainable planet. And two, we also have an Autodesk Foundation that donates a software for what we call design impact projects. So if you are a non-profit organization interested in creating solutions so that you can make this world a better place, we have what we call a design impact program that can give you a software for free. Just to visualize what that means and how that could really fit in, I'm going to give you a couple of examples and leave you with a couple of stories so you can understand what we're trying to say. This is an example of a picture that shows a smoke-filled room. Many of you are familiar with ASEAN, with India, with this part of the world. This is a very common sight in emerging markets. So this is actually a picture, it's a real true story, a lady in a smoke-filled room in India, in one of the little towns in India. So one of our partner customers created a product called the BioLite stove. And what this product does, and it's got a really cool design, what it does is it actually harnesses the heat energy from the smoke, converts it into electrical energy, which can power a fan that actually clears the smoke. Okay, so reduces the smoke-based, pollution by 90%, uses 50% less wood to burn, but fascinatingly, there is extra power generated to actually charge an iPad or an iPhone. So you can talk about how fascinating a design like this. And by the way, when the big hurricane took place in New York City 2 years ago, when there was power shutdown, this particular product helped people charge their phones. So a BioLite stove. So very interesting of how you can use design and how in the design process you can build sustainability and take care of building stuff in a responsible way. Let me give you one more story. this is a company called Kickstart International. This is an example from Africa. So Kickstart International is a fascinating company, and their vision was to make hundreds of millions of African families out of poverty. That's what they wanted to do. And what they wanted to do, and the goal of what they wanted to do, was to use foot-powered or feet-powered hydraulic pumps. So they want to create the ability to have irrigation capabilities so that the farmers and the agricultural folks can produce even during the wrong time of the year when it's not necessarily the peak time for producing goods and so on. So the idea was that if the farmers are able to produce the products when it's downtime, when supply is low and demand is high, they can make more money and come out of poverty. This was the vision of Kickstart International, continues to be it. But they had a challenge, and the challenge was that the process of creating this product was too long. The design took too long, and the prototyping took too long, and every time they had to do it, they had to go through a very complex manufacturing process, and their ability to roll this out throughout Africa was severely impacted by and constrained by how fast they can do design. So when they visited us in San Francisco at Autodesk, we managed to help them use our design latest software. They were able to simulate the various scenarios, come up with the right kind of valves, use the wonderful things like computational fluid dynamics, which I don't want to talk to you about, and be able to come up with a brilliant design. And even better, they were able to 3D print the design in a week's time so that they don't have to necessarily go back and do all this prototyping and take months to make this product. So within a week, they were able to 3D print, prototype, and try it. 3 weeks later, they went back and they had working products which they can now roll out across Africa a lot more faster. So I hope those two stories give you a feel for what I mean by saying design actually is going to be at the forefront of driving the revolution towards creating a sustainable world, a world in which 9 billion people can live by 2050 without having to create and demand more from this world. So design software is fascinating, and we feel that we can help the world become a better place. We have what we call as Autodesk Foundation. We are particularly interested in contributing our software for free to 2 categories of organizations: clean tech startups, as well as if you are a nonprofit organization trying to design something to make this world a better place. If you're one of those 2 kinds of organizations, or if you're just interested to see how design can help make this world a better place, please come and talk to us, because we believe that with the revolutionary design technology that we have, and with the cutting-edge mindsets that we have in the room around here, we can work together to make this world a better place and actually have 9 billion people living by 2050 happily. Thank you.